Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Silver, buy, sell, or hold. What is the best thing to do right now during these crazy times? Now, I love the topic of this video because sometimes people think they always need to be doing something. They always need to be buying or trading or, it's not always right now is the best time to be buying. Sometimes it's better to step back, just step away for a second, take a breather, and just hold off, right? That is most times the smartest option because silver right now has extremely high premiums. You're paying $30 for an American Eagle that is going to be sold at $15. So, it's not always the best time to buy. And it's not always the best time to sell. Sometimes it's just smartest to hold and wait for the markets to change or correct or recover. So the link to this article from ETF Daily News will be in the description. I'm curious what your stacking strategy is right now. Are you buying, selling, holding, or trading? There's also that fourth option, which is trading. And that could be trading gold for silver or silver for gold, using the gold to silver ratio to your advantage to either earn free silver or free gold. So I am curious to hear your strategy right now. What are you doing? I do want to, before we go into the article, I do want to talk about a little bit about panic selling and impulse buying, because these two happen from emotional involvement being lack of patience is really what it is. It's a lack of patience in the markets, and it's very, very dangerous, and it's very, very, very hurtful to your profits, because when you panic sell, you're selling yourself short. You're selling a very quick, impulsive way to liquidate your stack, and you're not really waiting it out for silver to correct, or for the prices to naturally rise, or for the coins because if you're panic selling, you're usually selling right then. You don't have time for the coins to appreciate over time, or to find that right buyer that's willing to give you that price for that coin. So anyways, it's been a strong start to the year for gold, as the metal was briefly derailed during the mid-March panic lows. However, gold has since recouped all its losses and is attempting to take out the $1,800 level. Unfortunately, for those hiding out in silver that were hoping the metal might provide a sanctuary from the selling pressure, they've clearly miscalculated their bets. But that's just talking about right now. We don't know what the future holds. Not only has silver massively underperformed gold year to date with negative 14% return, but it remains well their position in silver. They seem to be giving up on the metal finally at a time when it's trying to stage a bounce. This is a continued step in the right direction for sentiment, though it's not an all-clear signal. Let's take a closer look below. As we can see in the above chart, we had a severe problem 2 months ago, as silver was below its 2019 highs by more than 5%, but small speculators were continuing to build up their long positioning in the metal. This was a massive negative divergence, as last thing wants to see in the market, they are trading and speculators accumulating significant positions and are getting more and more bullish despite lower prices. The reason for this is that investors want to enter a market when levels of fear are high and people are nervous in general. Now when people are becoming more bullish, the lower price goes. Which I can see. I understand how that works, and that makes sense. Since then, we've seen this negative divergence correct in a nasty way, as silver has fallen off a cliff, down 35% in just 2 months from its February high to its March low. The good news is that we've seen the 1 month moving average from small speculator positioning drop from 70,000 contracts to 36,000 contracts, a significant improvement from where we were in February. While this drop in positioning is small, speculators is a good sign, we are quite a distant away from the next. Or for the net short readings we saw in May when silver was at similar prices. We can take a closer look at the chart below. So if we look at the chart above, we can see that while small speculator positioning for silver is well below its previous highs, it still went off its prior 2019 lows. While silver was trading at $15 an ounce in May and June of 2019, we had a net short positioning from small speculators, indicating that they were bearish on the metal, and on balance, no one wanted to be long on the metal. The pessimism was what allowed a massive near 30% rally in the metal just 2 months ago, as there were tons of speculators left to buy an ounce once prices started trending higher. And that's the herd mentality. Once prices do start to trend higher, people tend to pick up on it, and that's when new investors start to hear about it, especially from gold shining. People find gold or find silver from gold, since silver is gold's little brother. A lot of people do find out about the metal after they get into the precious metals world. They find out about silver's potential or highly potential positioning in the markets, and then they try to find, especially since it's more affordable. So currently, however, we have a medium-sized net long positioning and 45,000 more contracts than in May 2019, despite the same silver price. This suggests that we do not have the same tailwind of net short positioning we did in May and June in 2019, and that speculators are still quite bullish, even if sentiment has cooled down with some speculators throwing in the towel. You got to think about COVID-19 through all this as well. There's a very interesting positioning with COVID-19 that they're not incorporating, right? Times are different right now, and you can't compare these times to previous times, especially since COVID-19 is something that's drastically going to affect and change the markets, right? So what is the best course of action here? Based on the fact the sentiment remains neutral for silver, we are now 25% off the lows. I see no reason to do anything this moment, which he's talking about holding. This is because this 25% rally has done nothing to improve the technical picture, given that we're still trading below vital support. Based on this, I remain the sidelines for silver, and I have zero interest for initiating a new long positioning here. If silver trades above $17 before June, I would view this opportunity to book some profits. So, we're not saying that silver isn't going to remain bullish or that it's going to be in a bear market, but right now, just may be the smartest thing to just wait it out. Right? There's not always that instant that instantaneous positioning you have to be doing. Holding off is still doing something, right? And I know if you are bullish, it's still, even though, and there's two ways to break this down: short term and long term. The short term, within a couple weeks, it doesn't really matter, right? The spot price of silver is essentially irrelevant compared to its intrinsic value that it has in the long term. And I'm not planning on selling for another 30 years. So even the next couple years are irrelevant to me because I'm going to be holding anyways. I'm not going to be selling my silver anytime soon. So it really does depend on your strategy, what your exit strategy is, what your financial situation is, what your goals are. And that's going to heavily reflect and affect the way you invest. So I pass the question on to you as an investor, as a stacker, as a silver stacker, on what does your exit strategy look like and how long down the line is that going to be? Is it going to be in a couple of years? Because this stuff might be relevant if it's going to be in a short-term span like that. Or if you're waiting for, retirement or later down the line, it really does depend upon that. Maybe you've already been stacking for a while and you're ready to retire within the next couple of years or so, and you're ready for silver to do that, to take that next step, that next move. It's a big move that we're talking about. Or maybe you're younger, maybe you're not ready to retire, maybe you're still, early in the game as a new stacker, and you can spare 10 plus years. And that's going to heavily depend upon whether you're buying, selling, trading, or holding right now, right? If you don't have much silver and you're willing to pay these prices, you got to understand the risk involved, because yes, there's a lot of reward. If we're talking about $50+ silver, who cares if you're paying $25? But you still got to understand that the prices could correct and markets could change at the snap of a finger. So you have to be ready. And wherever there is a lot of reward, there is a lot of risk. So if you're going to be a short-term flipper and you're going to be paying these premiums, you got to understand you might not get the premiums back. And that's going to definitely depend upon the individual. And that's something you have to decide. I'm not going to tell you how to stack. You have to, I give the information, I share what I'm doing, and you can apply that to your own stacking strategy. So anyways, I'm curious what your strategy is. I'd love to hear what you have to say, what you have to think. If you thought this article was informational, educational, or entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. But silver, buy, sell, or hold. What is your game plan? What does it look like? Is it going to be selling in 5 years? Is it going to be selling in 20 years? Is it going to be never selling? Are you waiting, or does it depend upon silver's price? And what do you think is going to push silver to that next level? That's something we all talk about. We all talk about $50 silver, how it was, $50 in 2011. But what do you think is going to be the next, icebreaker that's going to push silver to that level? Is it going to be COVID-19? Is it going to take the 2020 presidential election, or is it going to be something much, much bigger? Who knows? COVID-19 is far from over, and many more people are going to die, unfortunately, and it really does depend upon the length of this thing. If we're going into a depression, it's going to be interesting times. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I post daily videos every single day. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.